Dum da dum da dum da dum da da da. Dum da dum da dum da dum da da da.
And welcome to the Judy Lilly 68 Hemi Barracuda Superstock project. And I've got some work done to the car. Last update we were working on getting the center lines converted over to work with the Revell setup. The center lines are out of a AMT kit. I think they were out of the 70 Chevelle kit. But we've got the center lines adapted over. We've got the entire frame and chassis painted satin black. In the engine compartment, the firewall, the inner fender well is all painted satin black. Everything underneath has been painted satin black. And I just did a dry brushing of silver over the leaf springs and differential. I'm just going to leave it at that. I have no idea what color underneath the car really was, whether it was white or blue or both or what have you, but we're just going to go with a nice satin black on the bottom and then on the inside of the engine compartment. The motor I just have sitting in here, the Dart, the Hemi came with a 4-speed. And I was going to leave it on there, but it just kind of bugged me that, I had this 4-speed sitting on the motor when her car was an automatic. So I took the 440 that came with the Dart, because that came with a 727. So I cut off the 4-speed off the Hemi and mated it up to the 727 off of the 440. And now we have the correct transmission on her Hemi, and so I think it looks much better and is a lot more accurate that we got the 727 onto the block. So we're getting it there to be more correct like her car. Tight fit, but we can get it in there. So we've got that taken care of. I have de-chromed the valve covers, and I've drilled holes into the valve covers, and we'll use Tester's metallizer to paint these a nice dull aluminum. I don't know if her Hemi had the brushed aluminum look, whether they were the shiny chrome look, or whether they were the black crinkle look. I don't know. But I'm going to go, because I have so much black in here, I'm going to go with the, like a brushed aluminum look. So we're going to be hitting these valve covers with the Tester's metallizer. I have the holes drilled out for the wires. And speaking of wires, I'm putting an aftermarket distributor in. Comes with your aluminum distributor, wires, your boots. Comes with a photo etch, looms, and just all kinds of stuff it comes with. Comes with a 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder distributor top, so you can use it, depending on what your application is. So it's a nice little distributor set, and again, it's by Scale Models by Chris. I think it's scalemodelesbychris.com. A nice little distributor set. And it has the distributor lockdown bolts and clamps, and he gives you all kinds of stuff actually. So it's a nice little kit. In fact, I'll show you the instructions here. I don't want to lose my parts. So you can kind of see what it comes with. There's what it comes with. So, not a bad setup. And actually, I got that from Kenny over at Mindless Model Works. He sent that to me, so I appreciate it, Kenny. It's nice of him to do that. But anyway, so we've got another thing corrected on this build to get it more like her car was. And, I think it's coming along quite well. Really no issues so far. And we are back, and I've got some work done to the Barracuda since our little bit of segment we had just a moment ago. We've got the engine together. It is mounted in the frame. We've got the distributor in. We got the wires are in. We've got the wire looms on it. We've got it pretty much ready to go. I'm not going to do any more detailing to this other than just the wires. But we've got that all done. We've got our wire looms on. We've got the headers on. We've got the drive shaft out of the Dart cut and fitted to the Barracuda. So this is all pretty much underneath here. All of the Dart. It's just been modified to fit the Barracuda. So that's all finished. I did drill out the ends of the headers. I opened the headers up so they look a little bit more realistic. I didn't do any bluing of the headers because you can barely see them in there as it is. I mean, this engine compartment, it's all motor. So you really can't see the headers. So I didn't really do anything to the headers, but other than paint them the metallizer, the aluminum metallizer. So that is that. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, what I've been working on now is mainly the hood, getting the hood to fit the Barracuda. We're using a resin hood by Hearts Parts Resins, and this is the hood. And with most resin hoods, they're usually thicker than your plastic hoods, so you have to kind of compensate for that hood being thicker. So I've been sitting here just basically sanding it and trying to get it to fit down onto the Barracuda, and I'm pretty close. We've got a little bit of a rock here going, but it's really close, and I think a little bit more sanding. And what I'm doing is mainly taking the resin off around this area up here. This is where it's actually hitting the wires and the coil. So I'm trying to thin it down up in this area here to get it to slide down over, to get it to fit onto the body. And it's really close. I don't have too much more. In fact, I could probably take this hood and run it under hot water to soften it and give it a little bit of a curvature, and it will probably just fit perfect. So that's what we're mainly doing right now, is getting the hood to fit and aligning, making sure that everything aligns with the carbs. Here is the Dart hood scoop out of the Dart kit. We're not going to use the AMT hood scoop because the Revell is more correct. What's correct about the Revell is the fact that it has the 3 supports here in the front. When Hurst made these Darts and Barracudas and used this style of hood scoop, what was happening at first is that when they were going down the track, a lot of the air pressure would build up inside this hood scoop, and this hood scoop would just rip right off the hood. So later on, the drivers, the racers started to add some supports to keep the hood scoop tied down and from being ripped off the hood while you're going down the track. So the AMT has no supports, and the Revell has 3. So we're going to run the Revell hood scoop since it's more accurate. So that's pretty much where we're at. We've got a lot done, actually. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but getting that motor in and getting it fitted into the frame and made it up to the rear axle took me all day. So it's starting to look a lot more like Judy's car now. So I'm really pleased with everything, how it sits. Like I said, we're just fine-tuning this hood now, getting the hood to fit correctly. We need to get the radiator wall in here and get the radiator in and the hoses hooked up, the radiator hoses. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with this so far. It's looking pretty spiffy. My next step is once I get the radiator wall fitted, and the hood fitted to where it sits correctly, then we'll go through my paint cabinet, and we're going to have to mix ourselves up some blue. I'm gonna have to get some, go online, get some pictures of her car, more pictures of her car, and come up with the shade of blue that was used on her car. I don't have the shade of blue right out of the bottle, so I'm probably gonna have to mix my own. I have light blue and a lacquer, but it's a metallic, and her car wasn't metallic, so we're gonna have to mix up our own paint here. We're probably gonna have to take and get ourselves a medium blue. I have medium blue, and then we'll add some white to it to lighten it up, and turn it into a light blue, and then we'll have our color for the body, and then the body will be ready for paint. We're getting at that point now where just about everything is done. We're getting down to having to get the body taken care of. So got a lot of progress done today on the Barracuda. I'm really happy with the progress and happy with the way it looks, and I think it's looking pretty cool. All right, I guess that's it for this update, and I want to thank everyone for the well wishes, and we'll see you on the next update on the Barracuda. And until then, guys, take care and peace.